Brady Quinn here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Brady?
I'm doing well, Rich. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. So RG3 is the talk of the nation after a preseason game last night that looked like virtually every regular season game for him since he hurt his knee. What is your take on RG3 as a viable NFL quarterback, Brady?
Well, look, he has all the tools. We saw that in his rookie season. The problem right now is Coach Gruden's trying to make him something that I don't know if he'll ever really be able to be, and that's more of a pocket passer. That's what Kirk Cousins more is. That's what Colt McCoy is. That's not RG3, though. This kid was blessed with so much ability to get outside the pocket and create with his feet. So he's really a true dual-threat quarterback, and unfortunately – they're trying to kind of make him into something that he's not. Now, again, it's not all on him as far as the performance. You look at the offensive line. Trent Williams didn't play. Then you've got a guy in Smith who comes in as a backup. Probably won't make the team the way he played last night. And then Brandon Sheriff, you draft him early in the first round, I think, fifth overall, and you're hoping this guy's going to be kind of like a Zach Martin for the Dallas Cowboys last year, where you can plug him in, he's going to be a dominant player right away. And that didn't seem to be the case. He got bull rushed right back into RG3 for a sack. So there's clearly more issues than just RG3. It's the offensive line as well.
Well, there's also the issue of RG3, the player and the man and who he is, as Brian Mitchell, an analyst for the local CSN in D.C., a longtime Washington player. He's been around there, is questioning whether or not he's being coddled. It's the same questions over and over again about RG3's preparedness to be in the spotlight. And I'm just wondering what is, in fact, going on up there, Brady. It's the same thing over and over again with him.
Yeah, well, look, he's definitely not being coddled. I mean, I think you look at, people are talking about, was he in the game too long? And to me, no, because RG3 has not proven himself to be a type of guy in the second preseason game where usually the ones go in for the first quarter in its entirety and then maybe into the second. And that's pretty typical. And for a guy like him who he's obviously not in a quarterback competition, he's the guy right now. But you look at the way Kirk Cousins performs in Jay Gruden's system, or even Colt McCoy, they're pretty efficient. I mean, Colt McCoy is probably the best of all three of them last season for the little bit he got to play. So until RG3 really comes in and excels and proves that he's the guy he's capable of being in his rookie season, they're not going to coddle him. I don't think they have. I mean, everything they've come out and said, they really want him to kind of grow and develop and show off his toughness, show that he can sit in that pocket and take some hits but to still deliver the football. And obviously they want to protect him better, but I don't see them coddling at all. I just think there's this big aura about him, and there's this idea about him and how he kind of is such a dynamic player in the way and what he's capable of doing, that people want to see that, and people want to see him kind of be the face of the Washington Redskins and really lead this team. And it's something they haven't really experienced a lot of success in quite some time. And unfortunately, whether it's been the health issues or even him just adapting to the NFL style of play, it hasn't happened yet.
Brady Quinn of Fox Sports joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. I mean, you were hyped as well coming out of Notre Dame, going to Cleveland. When you were going through your struggles, as RG3 has been going through his struggles for the last 2 or 3 years, what do you think RG3 is going through right now, hearing all of this criticism and the same amount of criticism, the same type of criticism for 3 straight years? What do you think is going through his temples, Brady?
The toughest thing, Rich, is not losing your confidence, because that's what happens. I mean, we're in a day now where you can't ever really avoid the chatter and the talk and really all the negativity that surrounds the NFL. That's the one thing you notice when you first come into the league is between college and the NFL is everyone in the NFL tells you what you can't do. And in college, it was always kind of about your ability and what you could do. So now RG3's got to find a way of battling through his past failures and figuring out how to get better from them and really just getting his confidence back. His confidence in his ability as a player, his confidence in his ability to lead. Because once you start hearing those murmurs and you start hearing all the chatter, you start stepping into the huddle thinking, do these guys, when they look back at me, do they believe in me? Do they believe that I can deliver? Because I still feel like it is. I mean, you heard him last week say he feels like he's the best quarterback in the NFL. So he's at least preaching the right thing of the type of confidence he needs to have. But when you go through these types of struggles, it's hard to believe that he truly believes that deep down, because the actions speak louder than words. And in his play, I don't see him as confident as he once was as a rookie.
Brady Quinn joining me here on the program. The Johnny Manziel narrative right now is that he's playing better. He's got more of the old Texas A&M sea legs under him. He had a 96-yard touchdown drive last night. Also, though, against the Threes, could not get the Browns in field goal position for a winner last night. Where do you stand on the Manziel readiness, Brady?
Well, look, he's clearly made strides in his game and really in life in general off the field, which I think is playing a part to his success on the field. But he did some great things last night, and that's the type of progression you want to see out of Johnny Manziel. But it's versus the 2s and 3s. I mean, Dan Orlovsky last night for the Detroit Lions lit the world on fire. But during the course of regular season games in his career, he's never played overly well. So let's not look too much into this. Josh McCown's still the starter. Head coach Mike Pettine's continue to keep putting out those fires for all those fans in Cleveland who want that backup to be the guy, want him to get in there. But, you've got to understand that he's not quite ready yet. I think you can look at Johnny Manziel's game and RG3, and you can kind of almost compare them and say these guys have to become elite passers from the pocket with mobility and athletic ability before they can go in there and really be the quarterback they're capable of being for their franchises. You've got to find ways of utilizing their legs and utilizing their athleticism. And we saw the one boot Johnny Manziel had last night going to his left, throwing back across his body to that deep over route. And that was a heck of a throw and heck of a play. I just don't know if it's going to be there versus the ones. So, again, he has all the ability. It's just once he gets into the regular season, is he able to translate what he's been building and doing in the preseason into the regular season? That's still yet to be seen.
Who do you think the Bills should go with?
I think they should go with Matt Castle. You're talking about a team that's on the cusp of making the playoffs. And you've got to go with the guy who has the more experience. If you want to call him a game manager, then call him that. But they've got a ton of talent around him. All you have to do is find a guy who's smart and be able to distribute the football to his playmakers and allow their defense to be able to do their part. And I think Matt Castle is the most capable of doing that. He knows the New England Patriots. They're really the champ in the AFC East. So if you want a guy who understands how to beat the Patriots, you better go with a guy like Matt Castle. Now, if things don't work out, then you can always put in Tyrod Taylor. He's a young guy still trying to prove himself, and give him maybe the second half of the season to give you some sort of indication if he's maybe your future starter. But right now, I think it's too important with where this team's at, how close they are to being the AFC East champion and even a playoff contending team, that they have to go with the experience of Matt Castle.
Let's get down to brass tacks, Brady. You're seeing all of these quarterbacks, veterans getting shots. Do you want one more shot if you get the phone call?
Of course. I mean, I would never say never to turning down an opportunity if it was there. I think you look at the landscape of the NFL right now. There's a lot of teams that have inexperienced guys as the backups, and it's difficult to look at that saying, regardless of what my past has been for win-loss record or even statistically speaking, you learn from those failures. And I feel like now more than ever I've gotten better to the point where mentally I feel better about the game. I had a great preseason with Seattle in 2013, and then really didn't get an opportunity last year in the preseason with the Dolphins. So it's unfortunate that that's how things kind of work out. Once you start kind of going around from team to team, you kind of get labeled as a journeyman and a guy who's not capable of doing it. But, I don't feel like I've ever really truly gotten a shot. I wish I would have in Denver. In Kansas City, unfortunately, we went through a lot of adversity on the field, but really off the field as well with some of the things that happened in 2012. I think if the opportunity presented itself, you definitely would have to look at it and see if it's something that would work out. But, I've got to be honest, too. I've really enjoyed being able to be an analyst and working with Fox and even working a little bit with NFL Network, too.
Yeah.
So it's been fun.
I've noticed that. And in terms of your analyst role, I want the analyst hat on tight here, Brady. Are you concerned? Are you concerned about the Notre Dame quarterback situation, Brady?
Not at all. Actually, Rich, I went up to South Bend and worked out with Malik probably about a week before the training camp started, and I truly came away impressed with not only the foundation he has of kind of just a football IQ, but also just his prepared and readiness to jump into this role and really take off. Fundamentally speaking, he's got all the tools. The kid can sling it. He's accurate. And he's got the right attitude, too, which I think is a big part of it. And I think he gets what it means to be the quarterback at Notre Dame because it is a different hat to wear. I think it's different than other schools out there. There's such a national following and a national focus that you have to understand that you can't put yourself in some of these situations where you're kind of risking your team and everything you've built and the success. By making a dumb mistake that I think a lot of young men sometimes make during their college years. Unfortunately, you don't have that opportunity at Notre Dame because of the national focus, and I think Malik gets that. So, look, they're a talented team. I think they've got every opportunity to run the table. It's just a matter of if they can limit the turnovers. That was something that Everett Golson couldn't do last season as their starter.
Right, and before I let you go, in terms of the history of college football, the Football Writers Association of America released a 75th anniversary All-America team Thursday. And I'm looking down the list here. I don't see Rudy anywhere, Brady. Why isn't Rudy on this list from Notre Dame?
Well, look, I'm not a writer, Rich. I really can't get into the specifics of what their thought process was. But if you're talking about a per-play average, I think the guy had, one play, one tackle, and he sounds pretty productive.
Well, I saw that in the movies. Did that really happen, Brady? Did that
I think it did to some degree. Now, I've met the real Rudy, and he says if they did the movie that he wanted, it would have been like a 7-hour-long film that incorporated a vast portion of his life. But, they had to cut it down for the viewers. But I think he had like a tackle or a sack. I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. But,
yeah, I just was wondering.
He definitely had a pretty high per play average as far as how much he played and how much production he had.
We know he had heart, Brady. Brady, we know he had heart because that's what Notre Dame football's all about, is heart and playing hard and making movies
and
about
kind of being able to run through a brick wall, I guess.
Sure.
But hey,
because no other school has that.
Rich, can I ask you this?
Sure, Brady.
There's all these camp injuries going on right now.
Yeah.
And every year I watch you during the draft run that 40. How have you not pulled a hamstring running in dress shoes sometimes? I mean, how is that possible?
Well, it's heart, Brady. It's heart, I just get down there and I just feel it. You know what I mean? You can't teach what beats inside. And it's, that's what I'm saying. It's not just a Notre Dame thing. We at Michigan just don't make movies about it. You know what I mean? We don't.
We should get you and Rudy together. That's what we should do.
Oh, I don't think Rudy wants a piece of me.
You don't think so?
No.
He's a scrappy guy.
I know that. That's why we'd throw down.
Brady's nice enough to come on, and you launch him under the bus.
No, I don't launch Brady Quinn under the bus. I launch Rudy under the bus every single time, and twice on Fridays, obviously. It's okay, though.
Come on, and have a heart. Have a heart.
I do. Don't you see my 40? You pointed it out.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm wondering, though, maybe we should try, we should get you with some sort of track coach or a trainer, because time has been kind of dwindling down now.
When you say you mean the sands of time as a 46-year-old man is what you're referring to, right, Brady?
Well, yeah, but I think if we got you back on a regimen, maybe a strict diet, too, and we got you with like Butch Reynolds or someone, like one of these, great track coaches. I think we really could cut down maybe a second.
That's it. Sure. Look, and then with my heart on top of it, we could make a movie. I'll get Vince Vaughn on the horn. Who else can I get? Ned Beatty.
It was Sean William Scott.
Right. We get Sean Astin. No, Sean Astin on the horn. Obviously, Favreau's in the mix. We'll put. It'll be a great movie. It'll be great, and it'll be real. It'll be true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See where I'm going?
Yeah. It'll be actually legitimate, right?
Yeah. We'll get Golick. We'll get them all. Hey, Brady, look, you're the man. I appreciate you coming on and come in studio if you're, when you get a chance. Love to have you here in person.
I'd love that.
You got it.
Love that. That'd be great. Good time.
Thanks, Brady. Appreciate you mixing it up.
Thank you, Rich.
You bet. That's Brady Quinn at @3_goal on Twitter.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.